Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Okay, so funny story. I have been waiting and I've been reading inside and hanging out with Alex and the dogs upstairs and stuff. I have been waiting for the sun to go down off of the front porch so that I could come out here and vlog. And I know that you guys are probably like, Peter, we really don't care. You don't care. Look, I feel like I am like fully spotlit by the sunshine. But anyway, I know that you guys are probably like, Peter, we really don't care. I do a little bit because it's like looking right into the sunshine for an hour or so is a lot. So I've been waiting and I've been inside reading. I've been trying to catch up on the books that I haven't been reading a lot. Like, I read a chapter and a half of Witch's Sister, and the other one about the cab driver in New York City, the vintage book by Lucille Fletcher. I can't remember, $80 to... Anyway, I've been reading those books, and then I read a chapter from Do Not Disturb, the Frida McFadden book. And then I went upstairs and I was hanging out with Alex and the dogs and stuff. And I looked outside and it was really cloudy. And I was like, oh, so now it's cloudy. So I came downstairs and I looked at the front porch, and the front porch was completely covered in clouds. There was no sunshine out here whatsoever. So I went and changed my shirt, put this shirt on, and then I made a cup of coffee. And I brought everything out here and I sat down. And literally right as I sat down before I started filming this vlog, the sun moved away from the clouds, and then the sun came out again. So, and the mail is being delivered right now. So, but anyway, so I don't know if it's going to go back behind the clouds or not. But the sun is starting to move over, so probably in the next 10 or 20 minutes, I will be out of the sunshine. But in all honesty, I was like, I just want to start the vlog today early because Alex and we have a lot of TV to watch tonight. So, we have 3 Housewives to watch. We have Miami, which was the first part of the reunion. And then we have Salt Lake City, and then we have Orange County to watch. So we're going to watch those. He is super, super tired today. He actually went to bed very, very early last night. And then he, like, as soon as he got home from, like, his mom's, he, like, went upstairs, and then he like laid down, and then he got up after I got back from my walk, and then he was up for like a half an hour, and he was like, I don't know why I'm so tired. I was like, baby, you don't get a lot of sleep through the week. And so then he went back to bed, and then he slept through the night. So he is, and then today he was like, I think I'm so tired because I got too much sleep. He actually, he got up. So he and his friend, he went over to his friend's house the other day, and they ordered like Thai food, and so he brought some of it home. So he got up this morning and he heated up his Thai food, his like fried rice, and then he came back to bed, and then he came downstairs when I got up and stuff, and so we were talking and whatever. Then he went back upstairs and the dogs followed him up there, and then I was reading downstairs, and so I was like, well, do you want to watch these shows and stuff? He's like, yeah, but he goes, honestly, he goes, because we had talked about going to a movie. I'll tell you guys about that in a second. So, I said, do you want to watch these shows and stuff? He's like, yeah. He goes, but honestly, he goes, I might go to bed again. I might go to bed early again. He goes, because I'm really, really tired and I think I need the sleep. And I said, well, that's fine with me. I'll just watch my shows and walk and read and whatever. So, so the earlier that I get the vlog done, the better, because then we can get our shows done early. And then he can, if he wants to go to sleep, he can go to sleep. So anyway, it is currently 2:21 p.m. on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is still really, really hot outside. It is 83 degrees. 83 degrees, and we are full into October. So, let's see, when the temperatures, tomorrow's going to be 85, oh no, yeah, tomorrow's going to be 85, 82, and then on Tuesday is 72 and rain. Because Tanya and I were talking about that last night, and she's like, well, we can still go. Let's just kind of wait and see on Tuesday what the rain's like. So if the rain's not too bad, or if it stops early, we're going to go and to our meeting on Tuesday. But if the rain is bad on Tuesday, then we won't go. We're going to move it to another day. But anyway, so yeah, so our plan today was, there's been no discussion of I always get confused when I'm vlogging about whether these were conversations I had. No, I think I did talk about this in the vlog, about our friends that their dog enters the wiener dog race contest every year. There was no discussion about that last night or today about us going to that. So we did not go to whatever, it was some festival downtown anyway. Oktoberfest, I think it was, downtown. And then they do this like wiener dog race or whatever. So anyway, There was no discussion about that. I think that he lost interest in it as soon as we talked about it. But anyway, so our plan today was that, depending on like the sunshine on the front porch, I was gonna vlog, and then we were probably gonna go see like The Strangers 2 early. And then we were gonna come back and we were gonna watch The Housewives. We were gonna watch The Housewives. Next weekend is the bachelorette party that Alex is going to. So next weekend we can't go see a movie unless we go see it on Sunday. Because we were just talking about it, and he was like, no, I'll be back on Sunday in time to pick you up for brunch. He's like, unless we like have brunch on Sunday and it goes late. And I was like, well, whatever, it's her bachelorette weekend, have fun. So, so that's next weekend, so we won't be going to see a movie next weekend. So I really wanted to see a movie this weekend, and he really wants to see The Strangers movie. I really want to see The Long Walk. He has no interest in seeing The Long Walk. So I was like, okay, well, I want to see The Strangers as well. So last night, for those of you that do not know, on my movie channel, I started, I announced yesterday every year for Halloween on my Peter Does Stuff channel. Well, I think it's like the last 2 years I've done it. I picked like a horror movie franchise to watch all together. So last year we watched all of the Halloween movies. I think that was last year. And then it was like, it wasn't for Halloween, it was leading up to Friday the 13th. We watched all the Friday the 13th movies. It was really, really fun. I love just like watching a whole franchise of a movie. Or like a whole franchise of movies, you know, like all the Halloweens, all the Fridays. I love doing that. And like kind of like now I've seen all the Final Destinations. I've seen all the 28 Days. So I love like watching all the movies in a franchise. So anyway, so yesterday on my movie channel, I announced that the movies for this year are the Saw movies. And so, there's 10 movies in the Saw series, the Saw franchise. One of them, which I think is called Spiral, is kind of like a prequel to it, but it's like the 8th movie out of 10 or something like that, but I'm just gonna watch it in the order that they were released. So anyway, if you wanna watch them, go over. It's on my movie channel now. It's not on my Peter Does Stuff channel anymore, it's on my movie channel. All the movie clubs and movie things will be over on my movie channel. So I did that announcement yesterday, and so last night, so our plan today was that we were gonna go see The Strangers 2. And I was like, a couple people had said it was really pretty good, and so I had seen a lot of things online that they were saying it was just horrible and whatever, but then last night, or the last couple days in my vlog, a couple people when I mentioned it were like, actually it's pretty good, you should go see it, you'll like it, blah, 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 whatever. Some people said it was even better than the Conjuring one, so then I got kind of excited about it. Well, last night, I was like looking up where to watch the Saw movies. If you're wanting to do it with me, the first 4 or 5 Saw movies, I think there's like 5 or 6 out of the 10 that are free on Tubi. So if you don't know what Tubi is a free streaming app. I used to do all the movies for the movie clubs. I just shaved and trimmed my beard a little bit, and right here, it's like, I can tell I did not get that area right there. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, which is usually my nose, but now it's right here. So I used to pick Tubi for all the movies off of Tubi because it was a free streaming app. All you had to do was download Tubi, T-U-B-I, and you don't have to pay for it. It's a completely free streaming app. They have TV shows, they have movies. There are ads on the movies and the TV shows, but there's not that many. Like, I watched Saw, the original, last night, and I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes, and there were, like, within the first half an hour, like at the 15-minute mark, there were 2 ads. And then there was, I think, another ad at like an hour and 15 minutes. And that was the only ads in the entire movie. So I don't think that that's too bad. There's a lot of new movies on there, a lot of old movies. So Tubi, if you want to check it out. Not sponsored. I love the Tubi app. So anyway, I was looking, like I was Google searching, like, where to look up these movies. And one of it said something about Prime. So I like went over to Prime. And I was like looking up, I think I was looking like in my search of like, or my wish list or whatever on Prime for like movies that I've like added to my list. I was looking up something on Prime, I don't know, but when I was looking down, it came up on The Strangers Chapter 1, and I don't know why, but it like clicked in my head. I had never thought of this before in talking about going to see The Strangers movie. It like clicked in my head, and I was like, okay, so this movie is called The Strangers Chapter 2. I thought this was like, there's been, a couple Strangers movies. I thought this was like a remake or like the sequel, like, because Halloween's done this with like, these movies don't count, and these movies aren't really part of the franchise and all that kind of stuff, even though I love all the movies in the Halloween franchise. Well, not all of them, but I do like all of them, actually. There's some that I like more than others, but like 4 and 5, they say is not like part of the Michael Myers like timeline, but I love those movies. And 6 as well, they say is not part of the timeline because that's when Jamie Lee Curtis is working as a principal of a boarding school and Josh Hartnett as her son. They say that's not part of the timeline either. The timeline really goes like 1, 2, and then like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Like that's the real timeline, supposedly, per like the producers. But I love all the movies. So anyway, I was like, how does this whole strangers thing work? Like, am I, like, if I go see this movie, am I going to be completely lost? So I went in and I like Google searched and I looked and to see if The Strangers Chapter 2 was like a sequel. And it said, yes, it's a direct sequel to Strangers Chapter 1 that came out in 2024. Well, I had it on my Amazon list. And so I went in and I watched, I was like, did we watch this last year? By the way, I just made this, isn't this cup I love? I got these at Costco last year. I love the Pendleton stuff. Look, I have this dog bed saved on my phone. It's a Pendleton dog bed. I really, really want it. I think I'm going to order it. Although, they like the really kind of like soft dog beds, so I don't know how much they would really like it. But I think this bed is so cute. Is this dog bed not so cute? It's a Pendleton dog bed at Chewy. Yeah, they're kind of expensive though, but I'm like, I think we might need to get that for the dogs. But I love anything that's just like Pendleton print. It's like my favorite. So anyway, I was like, well, did we watch this last year? I'm trying to make it through those. Did I show you guys or share with you the coffee that I made yesterday? See, the clouds are coming. Okay. Cloud coverage. This is the only time I'm wishing for cloud coverage. Well, no, I love the cloud coverage now that it's fall. But anyway, this is the Eggo waffle maple syrup. And it's really, really good. And I bought like a box of 40. And I'm like 2/3 of the way through with it. So until I get done with that box, I'm trying not to like buy a lot more stuff. And I bought the Halloween K-Pods. And so, but some of those flavors can go into like November and December. They're kind of like more holiday flavors. So until I finish this, I'm not going back to the trick-or-treat ones and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I went and I watched the trailer for Strangers Chapter 1, which basically, it's like, it says it's like how it all started. It's basically, it looks to me, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure some of you will let me know, it basically looks like a remake of the original. That I think, like, wasn't it with, like, who was in it? Was it, like, Ben Affleck and, well, I can't think of her name. Anyway. So Alex, he is not a big fan of scary movies. He likes scary stuff, but, like, gory, he doesn't like that anymore. He thinks The Strangers, the original Strangers, is like the scariest movie. Like, he thinks it's the scariest movie in the entire world. I remember it being kind of really slow, honestly. So anyway, I think we rewatched it, I don't know, 4 or 5, probably 10 years ago. It seems like yesterday to me. When you get older, things that happened 10 years ago, it's like, it happened, yeah. It's just like, oh, was that last year? So anyway, I watched the trailer for this movie. I don't know, I guess is it like kind of like a remake of the original? I don't really understand it. But it's a newer version of basically the original story of this couple that goes and stays in this cabin in the woods. But I've not seen this. I've not seen The Strangers Chapter 1. That came out last year. I've never seen it. So today when Alex and I were talking about it, I was like, do you want to go to this movie? He's a little worried that he might be getting sick. He's like, I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'm getting sick. He rarely ever gets sick. And so he's like, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Like, I'm wondering if I'm getting sick. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I just don't know why I'm so tired. He's like, you know, throwing out all these guesses and whatever. And he's like, you know, is it because I slept too much? Is it because I didn't get enough sleep throughout the week? He's like, I don't understand. When Alex sleeps, like when he goes to bed at night, like when his head hits the pillow and he puts his phone away, you know when they say like the thing about like, don't be on your phone for, like every once in a while he'll be like, yeah, I was on my phone too much, I had a hard time going to sleep, but not very often. Like, you know when they say like, stay off your phone because like then it's hard to fall asleep. Like he literally, like I'll watch him, like he'll be like rolling on TikTok. He'll plug in his phone and like his head hits the pillow and he's out like that. Like, and he can sleep deep throughout the night. So today, when we were talking about it, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't feel like I'm getting sick. He was like, but I kind of wonder if I'm getting sick because my body is so tired. And he's like, I'm just really tired. And he's like, and I didn't really like, it wasn't like I had like a stressful week or anything. So he doesn't really know. But he's like, so today we were talking about the movie and I said, do you want to still see the Strangers movie? Because I have to tell you something. He was like, well, yeah, I thought that was kind of the plan. And he goes, but I'm not feeling great. He was like, I'm tired and I just don't feel great. And he goes, if you want to wait until tomorrow. I said, well, here's the deal. I said, did you know that this is like a sequel to one that came out last year? He was like, no, this is the sequel to the original. I go, no, I thought that too. I said, this is the sequel to one that came out last year that was called Chapter 1. And he goes, oh, really? So then he pulls up the trailer and he watches it. And I go, did we watch this? And he goes, no, we haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. He was like, I haven't watched it. So he goes, well, I said, do you think we need to watch it before we go see the second one? He goes, yeah, I think we need to go watch this. And he goes, okay. So he goes, well, we can either watch this tonight. He was like, depending on like how if I start getting too tired. So we'll probably watch it tonight. He said, or we can, and then we can go see it tomorrow. He said, or if we don't watch it tonight and you still want to go see a movie tomorrow, we can go just see whatever tomorrow, The Long Walk or whatever you want to see. And I said, okay. So that's kind of our plans right now. So, in all honesty, I'm not really, what's going on over here? In all honesty, like, I really wanted to see a movie this weekend, but I'm really just kind of wanting to hang around the house today and just be kind of like cozy and stuff like that. So I'm totally good with the plans. Last night I started, and he is right now, like, he's upstairs and I think he's going to start the Monsters Ed Gein show. So he was asking me what I thought about it. So last night, there's like a lot going on right here. There's like 3 of these trucks like working on something's like the electric company or something's out here, and then the mail truck couldn't get around them. And now one of them's backing up and one of them's turning around. Our street is literally like from like my mailbox to my neighbor's mailbox across the street. It's literally probably, I mean, no exaggeration, probably 15 feet straight across. I mean, we have really near, oh, and now somebody's trying to get out of their driveway. I see what's going on. I was like, oh. And then another truck is backing up. Everybody's trying to do everything. Everybody's trying to do everything at the same time. So, last night I was really in the mood to watch something spooky. So, Mel had texted me yesterday about, I like to watch all the new stuff that comes out, which I'm so behind on like 50 new things that have come out to cover them for my TV channel. This is kind of like, this is a mess going on over here. So somebody pulled their car out of the driveway and now they're just like parked in the street. It's like one car's here and then another truck is moving here and then, oh, now the truck is moving, the electric, oh, it is. The electric company's moving in the driveway. Oh, that's why she moved out of the driveway, but I wonder why they needed to be. What's funny is that, like, I wonder so much about, like, what's going on in the street and stuff like that, but all of a sudden you'll just, like, randomly see, like when I'm not vlogging and I'm just, like, sitting out here reading or whatever when I take the dogs out, like, if something like this is going on, all of a sudden you'll just see somebody come out of their house and they'll, like, just, like, randomly be, like, watering the plants, but they're kind of like this. Like, they literally just came out of their house to find out what's going on. We're all a bunch of nosy neighbors in this neighborhood. It kind of makes it fun. Anyway, so last night, I'm loving the 31st Trick-or-Treater. Somebody told me that there is a paperback version, and then it was like, as soon as like I read that, I think it was on my vlog, or maybe it was on my booktube video that I did. As soon as I read the comment that somebody said there is a paperback version and I'm reading it, I wish I would have gotten the paperback version, and if I had known that, but when I pre-ordered it, and it was the only available version was the Kindle at that time. If I had known that there was a paperback version, I would have got the paperback version. Because I like doing that for the Advent calendar books, like in the Christmas books and stuff like that. But I'm really liking that book. So I read a little bit of that last night. I read a little bit of some other stuff last night. But I was really in the mood to watch TV. And so when I sat down, it was like still early. And I was like, okay, like I took a nap last night. I walked, listened to some of that James Patterson book. I'm really struggling with like Target, Alex Cross, and now Chris Cross. I'm like really, really struggling. I noticed that Mel gave Target 3 stars. I gave it 2 stars. She just finished it the day after I did. And now I'm on Chris Cross, and I'm just not loving Chris Cross. I'm just not loving Chris Cross. But we're going to get through them. And then as soon as I get done with them, I'm starting the Dan Brown book. Maybe. I really want to read the Dan Brown book, but that's like such a long book that's going to take me like an entire week. And I don't know. I've got a bunch of spooky books that I want to read. That I have on Audible. Oh, Tanya is like, okay, so Tanya, what was the fantasy author? She and I were talking about this last night. She said, I did it to myself again. And I go, what did you do? And she said, I started reading this new series. Oh, she told me what it was called. Because when she said it, I was like, oh, I know that series. It's a newer series. It's not like the one that's real famous, the Ox and Blood or whatever that's called. Onks, whatever, Blood. It's not that one. It's some other series that's famous like that. It's not A Court of Thorn and Roses because she's already read that. It's not Sarah J. Maas. It's something, but it's something popular. She's so into the fantasy ones right now. There's like 4 books in the series, and she like read all 4 of them. These are like 1,200 page books. She read like all 4 of them in 2 days. And she said, she goes like, I have done like really nothing except for like go to the kennel. And she's like, and I come home, and she's like, Eric's been watching some TV show, and she's like, while he's watching it, like, in the background, I'm just, like, sitting there binging these books. And she's like, I'm obsessed with these books. And she goes, I got to the end of the 4th one, and I found out that the next one doesn't come out until March of 2026. She goes, I'm so pissed. And I go, so what'd you do? And she goes, oh, I started another series, and this series has 10 books in it. She goes, I'm obsessed with these fantasy books. She's, like, literally obsessed with these fantasy books. So, anyway, I don't know why I was... what got me talking about the fantasy books. Anyway, so last night, what were we talking about the fantasy books? We're talking about something. The 31st Trick or Treater, I really like. It's feels like it's a little paranormal, but like they haven't really explained what's paranormal about it yet. So I don't really know. But I like it. I think it's good. So I read that last night. I read some other stuff. Oh, this is what I was talking about, like, the spooky books that I want to read this. Oh, see, came full circle. Tanya is also reading all of the Lisa Jewell books, and she's read, like, 4 of them, and she was going in and she was telling me she just started in between, or she just read in between the 2 fantasy series, the newest Lisa Jewell book, which I think is called Don't Let Him In. And I said, what'd you think? She goes, it wasn't my favorite of the Lisa Jewell books, but she goes... She's like, I love... Hold on a second. She was like, I love... Nikki's getting new glasses today, and so she's sending me a picture of what I think of these glasses. They're really cute. They're huge frames. So we were talking about that, and then I said, oh my god, Tanya, I am so into the Frida McFadden books. So Tanya reads almost all of her books, like, on Kindle, or like if she's at the store, she'll buy one, but she reads most of her books on her Kindle. And so she was like, well, which one are you into right now? And I'm like, Do Not Disturb. And she's like, what's it about? And I was telling her, and she's like, I've read almost all of the Frida McFadden books. And I was like, I know. And I said, a new one comes out this week. And she was like, yeah, I read them as soon as they come out. She was like, I love her books. And so, I mean, Tanya could read a Frida McFadden book probably in 3 hours. Like, she is a fast reader. And Tanya will just, like, sit there in the backyard and, like, she'll go to work for, like, 6 hours, come home during her break, then she'll go back for 3. She reads the whole time on her break or takes a nap, then she goes back, then she comes home and she reads while they'll watch a movie, and then she reads till, like, 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So, she is, like, I mean, you talk about voracious reader. She is, like, a voracious reader. She has, like, funny stories, like, when she was a kid. And, like, she was like, I can remember my mom, she was like, would be like, okay, Tanya, you gotta go to sleep now, sweetie. And she'd go, okay, Mom. And then she would read underneath her comforter with a flashlight and stuff like that. And she said her mom, like, would come in the next morning and she'd be like, oh, Tanya sis did it again. She stayed up too long or too late reading with the flashlight under the comforter. And Tanya would read, like, these scary books. And she said she would read them under the flashlight and under the comforter and stuff like that when she was a kid. She loves to read. And, so she was going through the Frida McFadden books, like, on her Kindle, and she was, like, going through all of them, and I had just, like, ordered all these books online, and so she's like, oh, this one is really good, this one's really good, she goes, this one was okay, this one was really good, I can't remember which ones. I think she said, like, the ones that she said were really good were ones that I didn't expect. Like, she said The Inmate was really good, The Coworker was really good, I ordered both of those. She really liked The Teacher, which I had just ordered. And so anyway, so then she was like, I don't know if I read Do Not Disturb. And then she got down to it. She goes, oh, it says I read it in December of 2024. So I read it last year. She goes, oh, I remember this one now. She started talking. I said, no, stop, because I'm in the middle of reading it and you're going to ruin the book for me. And she just started laughing. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of spooky books that I like listen to on Audible. I want to listen to, I know they're not great, but I want to listen to the book 2 and book 3 of Clowns in the Cornfield. Let me go into my Audible library really quick. And then I have Heartsick and Malevolent that I want to listen to. Somebody told me that the Tanya Kappas Criminals and Campground series, they're turning into, like Hallmark is turning into a cozy mystery series. What? I love that book series. Oh my God. Cozy mysteries are getting like so crazy popular that it does not surprise me that they're going to start. I mean, they have through the years turned some of them into like TV. Well, Murder, She Wrote was the original cozy mystery, but people weren't really reading cozy. It wasn't, I wouldn't say, first of all, the books, I feel like the books, there's the queen of cozy mysteries herself, my neighbor. I feel like am I wrong? I feel like we watched the show and then I saw the Cabot Cove books come out afterwards. I don't feel like the series was based on books. I feel like the books were based on the series, but I could be wrong about that. I'm actually going to look that up really quick. Were the Murder, She Wrote, because I had a couple of them way back in the day, before I even knew what cozy mysteries were. Books based, I can hear the theme song in my head, based on the show. Yes, the Murder, She Wrote books are based on a television series, with some books directly adapting episodes and others serving as a spin-off novels featuring Jessica Fletcher and Cabot Cove. Yeah, I thought that they came out after the TV show because people are like, you should read all those books. I'd rather watch the show. And there are so many really, really good, unique cozy mystery series that are out there. But that was kind of like the original cozy mystery TV show back in the day. That was, I mean, there were cozy mystery books out, but they just weren't as popular. Today, they're super, super popular. I think, it's interesting when you kind of look at why cozy mysteries, I think, are, like, I think we're seeing, it's really interesting when you look at it, right? Like, I'm reading cozy mysteries, but I'm also reading Ice Planet Barbarians, which is, like, extremely erotic. And then I'm also reading Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is romance with a little bit of erotica in it. And it's like, I think that people swing like, a lot of readers, well, unless you're like, reading science fiction and stuff like that, but I guess that I say Planet Barbarians could be considered that. But it's like, people either like extreme erotica or they like, kind of in the middle, or they like cozies, which cozies have like no sex, no real hardcore violence. There's murders in them, but the murders they're not even really that hardcore when they happen. Like I've joked about before, what was the series? Because Mel just read Maddie Day. I can't remember. It's called like The Country Store. Those are really good. They take place in southern Indiana. They take place in like Brown County, Nashville, Indiana. And, but like, it's about this girl that she comes home and she ends up opening, like, running her grandma's vintage cookware diner kind of place. And the woman in town ends up dying, and then as she's strangled to death, but then they find like one of her world famous cheddar biscuits in her mouth. Like, there's always some kind of spin to it. I mean, some of the cozy mystery murders are a little bit more violent than that, but not typically. Like in the Miss Fortune books by Jana DeLeon, I mean, the romance in the book between Fortune and Carter has literally taken like 23 books to get to anywhere. And I don't think they've ever like flat out said like he doesn't even stay over there most nights. Like, I don't think they've ever even said like, I have read some cozies where there's like sex in it and stuff like that, but not a lot. And if it is, they kind of insinuate it. It's kind of like the Hitchcock movies, where they put like Do Not Disturb on the door kind of thing. There was one that took place in Florida that was a cozy mystery series, and there was like some pretty like hardcore sex in it. I was kind of surprised that it was considered a cozy. And some cozy mystery YouTuber like that reads cozy mysteries recommended the series. I can't remember what that series was. It was about a woman that like, I actually kind of liked the series. I read the first 2 books in the series, and then I don't even know why I stopped. But they take place like in Key West or something like that. But they were kind of sexual a little bit. It was about a woman, and she like inherited this coffee shop or something, and then there was there was like these mob guys that were like involved in it. Does anybody know what series I'm talking about? Stacy probably knows. Stacy's read like everything. Anyway, but most cozies don't like have a lot of sex and violence in them, you know? It's interesting. The camera stopped. It's interesting to me that they're getting super, super popular. Like, when I started getting interested in them a couple years ago, I don't even know when I started getting interested in them. Somebody recommended, I don't even really, to be honest with you, I would have to look through my Goodreads to see. I don't think Jana DeLeon Misfortune series might be, well, I can tell you whatever year I read Louisiana Longshot, which is the first one, it was like my #1 book of the year. Like when I did my, okay, let's see, past challenges and goals. 2019, was I reading cozies then? Not really. No. No, 2019 I wasn't reading cozies. 2020, oh, I read 100 books that year. This is going to be interesting to see if I can find. Oh, I read the Jacqueline Frost. I wonder if that was 12 Slaves of Christmas by Jacqueline Frost. Oh no, before that I read the Jana DeLeon books. So 2020 would have been the first year. Later Gator, I read, okay. Mistletoe Murder by Leslie Meyer. Fortune Hunter, Jana DeLeon. Hurricane Force, Soldiers of Fortune, Gator. Oh my god, I read so many of the Misfortune series that year. Oh, Death Overdue by Allison Brooke. I remember reading that because that was when we rented a house in Fort Lauderdale. I literally was, K.F. Breen, Magical Midlife Dating. I loved those books. Those were, A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones. You know what? I think that was, did I read? Oh, that was the very first one that got me into it. And I don't know how I remember that. Oh, this is so weird, because that year we also read Deviant, The Shocking True Story of Ed Gein, the original Psycho, and I just started watching that show last night. And Nikki and Mel and I were all talking about, like, I was talking with each of them about how we read that book for the True Crime Book Club, and I couldn't remember which one it was, but I was, like, watching the show, and I was like, this is not factually correct. Okay, so the very first cozy that I knowingly read as a cozy, well, The Girl Beneath the Sea by Andrew Mayne. I wouldn't consider those cozies. I'm looking through this year. No, that was it. It was a Dorinda Jones book. And you know what? I actually even remember doing a vlog talking about how that was the first cozy mystery that I read. And I don't know that a lot of people would even consider it a cozy mystery. But Dorinda Jones has also written the Charlie Davidson series about like a soul grifter. I like her. I have not, hold on a second, view book details. There's like 2 books in the series, or 1 book that I haven't read yet. The Sunshine Vikram book. Books. Bad Day for Sunshine I read, A Good Day for Chardonnay, and then the 3rd one came out in 2022. Did she finish that series? A Hard Day for a Hangover. I haven't read that one. But then what's the other, so it's only 1 book in the series I have to read. What is going on over here? Somebody's doing something. First Grave on the Right, Charlie Davidson, book 1. I read that. I remember reading it and not loving it, but that was the book that got me started on it. And I think that when I read it, I then later said something about, I think I was in like a vlog or something, and I was talking about, what's going on? Oh, I think they're putting their Halloween decorations out. My neighbors next door. They've got this big like wooden pumpkin. I think they're putting it together. But I remember like talking about it in a vlog. It's so weird because I almost kind of can remember like where I was when I was like driving in the vlog, and I remember going past this marathon station that I would pass a lot when I was talking about it. I don't know why, or maybe that's where I was when I like finished the book, listening to the audiobook or something. But I remember talking about that. I feel like I was like right there when I was talking about it in this vlog. Isn't that so weird that I remember that? And I was talking about how I really, really liked the Sunshine Vikram books by Dorinda Jones. And I was like, and I read somewhere that it was considered a cozy mystery. And I didn't really know what cozy mysteries were. And then I said, if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. And maybe I said that, and somebody said, well, that's considered a cozy, or I don't even remember how it came about. But then somebody recommended to me, oh my God, I wish I could remember who that was. I would thank them forever. The Misfortune books by Jana DeLeon, which the first one is Louisiana Long Shot. And that was really what got me started on the cozy mysteries. And then after that, I think I just started looking up ones. That Magical Midlife Crisis, which is about a woman who's like gone through a divorce. I'm not a big paranormal person, but like I liked those books. I didn't finish that series. I think there's like 6 or 8 books in that series, and I only read like the first 3. K.F. Breen. B-R-E-E-N-E. It's about a woman that, I think she lives in California, and she gets divorced and like her son's in college or something, and so her friend's mom or aunt or something runs like a hotel in this small town, and so they're like retiring or something. I can't remember how it happens. And then they like are like, do you want to come and run the hotel? And at first she's like, no, like what do I know about running a hotel? And then she's like, I need to just get away from everything. And so she moves. I don't know how I remember this book so well. And so then she moves to this small town, and she's got like a butler at this hotel, and she starts running this hotel. Well, it's like the butler is like a gargoyle. She like falls in love with this like vampire. She finds out that like she has special powers. I can't remember which hers are. She's like a witch or something. And then like, and the aunt always knew that she had these, because they were like childhood friends. And like the girl who's like the niece. And so the aunt always knew that this woman had like these magical powers. And so she runs this hotel, this bed and breakfast or hotel. And it's like, it's very kind of like Harry Potter with the muggles. Like there's some people in town that are like not magical, and there's other people that are magical. And so like, it's kind of like, they go to a lot of these pubs and stuff like that. Why do I feel like it takes place maybe in England or something like that? But I think she's from California is how it starts. You know what we should do? Is we should look up and see. I read the book in 2020. We should see how accurate I am. Okay, hold on a second. This will be so funny. But that was what started it. And then that Christmas I read the Jacqueline Frost books, and then I was in it to win it. But I would never have guessed at that time that cozies would be as big as they are. I mean, I think they were big back then, because when I started looking, I mean, there's like a website you can look up. It's called like the Cozy Mystery website or something. And literally, this gal has it sectioned off to like, if you want to read all cozies from like Indiana, I've looked it up, all the books from Indiana or whatever state you're from or country, or like if you want to read only ones about Halloween or Christmas or Earth Day or whatever, or if you want to read ones that are about like Italian food or bakery or have recipes in them or paranormal or witchcraft, you can like pick whatever you want, and she's got them all segmented off over there. By the way, the Misfortune books are not on any of her lists, which I think is kind of interesting. Okay, K.F. Breen. Maybe I only read one of them, but I feel like I read more than one of them. Okay, oh, well, it pulled it up and then it took it away. Magical Midlife, no, this is the second book, so I must have read at least 2 of them. Leveling Up series by K.F. Breen. Yeah, I read the first 2. And I gave them, what did I give the first one? I gave it 4 stars. What did I give the second one? 4 stars. I think back then it was like, oh, there's 9 books in the series, and they've continued all the way up until last year, so it looks like she'll probably put a book out this year unless it ended. Okay, let's read it to see how correct I am about, if I remember this book correctly. I finished it on October 5th. Oh my God! I finished it 5 years ago tomorrow. That is so crazy. Okay, a woman starting over a new house with an unexpected twist, a cape-wearing butler acting as a world's worst life coach, happily ever after wasn't supposed to come with a do-over option. But when my husband of 20 years packs up and heads for greener pastures and my son leaves for college, that's exactly what my life becomes, do-over. This time, though, I plan to do things differently. Age is just a number after all, and at 40, I'm ready to carve my own path. Eager for a fresh start, I make a somewhat unorthodox decision and move to a tiny town in the Sierra foothills. I'll be taking care of a centuries-old house that called to me when I was a kid. It's just temporary, I tell myself. It'll just be for a while. That is, until I learn what the house really is, something I never could have imagined. Maybe it's not a hotel, maybe it's just a house. But I got all of the rest of it right. Thankfully, 40 isn't too old to start an adventure because that's exactly what I do. A very dangerous adventure that will change my life forever. I have a chance to start again, and this time I make the rules. I really liked that series. K.F. Breen, Magical Midlife Madness. I think she has actually several different series. Let's look and see. Deliciously Dark Fairy Tales. She's got a lot in that series. She's got a Vampire Trilogy, Demigods of San Francisco, The Warrior. She's got a lot of different series. They're all kind of paranormal. But I really liked that book. But that was kind of what got me started on the cozy mystery thing. So cozy mysteries, like when I came around, like people like my neighbor have been reading them for years. But like pop culture wise, like as getting big as they are now, no, major magazines are writing articles about, like, the best cozy mysteries coming out. They've just gotten really, really popular in the last couple years. I was actually really late to the game, but I love cozies so much. Anyway, last night, let's talk about what I watched. So, well, I talked about finding out about the Strangers movie and all that kind of stuff. So, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about, it's all coming back to me now, Celine Dion. I was talking about wanting to read a bunch of scary books. That's what I was talking about. A bunch of scary books for fall, for October. So I might wait for the Dan Brown book until November. Because, like, as soon as Halloween's over, I will be done with, like, the Halloween scary books. And then I probably won't start reading Christmas books until, like, the week of Thanksgiving. Like, those 3 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, I'm kind of, like, I'm good with, like, just reading. Like, I'm already kind of thinking of some books that I'm going to save for that period in between there. So, anyway, so last night, I ended up watching the first Saw movie because I was like, I need to get started. There's 10 in the franchise, in the series. And so I was like, if I'm going to get these done, if I wait 2 weeks, then I'll never get it done, and it's my watch-along that I'm doing. So I was like, I gotta get into these. Okay, so I started watching, I think maybe I've seen maybe the first 2, or I don't, to be honest with you, I did not remember the first one. I thought I remembered it better than I did. So I watched the first one last night. It's on Tubi, like I said, for free. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. I think it was an hour and 38 minutes. So I watched it last night. Okay, I love Shawnee Smith so much, the actress. She was actually in that movie. Oh, here comes my favorite neighbors. Well, how are you doing? They're inside napping with Alex. Eat them, I mean meet them. It's beautiful today, isn't it? I know, it's so nice. On Tuesday, it is supposed to stay like this till Tuesday, and then it's 72 and rain.
Yeah, well, we need the rain.
We do. I'm a little bit ready for it. Now, do you see over here, like, our grass is brown and dying. Their grass is brown and dying. Everybody's grass is brown and dying. Now, do you notice over here, this yard? How green it is over there.
Where?
Right over there, where he puts the sprinkler every night. He puts... Oh, they put the sprinkler out? I don't even think I have a sprinkler. It's so hot, I just want to run through it.
I've run the sprinkler one time this whole year.
Really?
Which is unusual.
It is kind of funny, though. It's like, this yard looks like fall, their yard looks like fall, and then that looks like summer over there.
Just keep looking across the street.
I know. Well, he loves to golf. It looks like a golf course over there.
Stop looking at your yard. It's terrible.
You too. You having chili for dinner tonight?
No, I'm not sure what we're having yet.
I got this vegetarian chili from Trader Joe's. It's called Harvest Chili. I haven't tried it yet.
Is it in a jar or?
So, you know when you go into Trader Joe's and like the flowers and then all the... Okay, it's down to the right, like where all the soups are in like the refrigerated area.
Yeah.
And it's called Harvest Chili.
Here, I went ahead and made my own.
I've never heard of it before. Somebody recommended it to me, so I bought it.
Is it, have you eaten it?
I haven't tried it. I think I'm going to try it tonight.
Yeah, let us know.
I will.
Because we like chili.
No, he likes his with stuff in it. I like my vegetarian.
I like my vegetarian chili, but I like elbow macaroni and all that stuff in it.
You know that's a Hoosier thing, you know?
Is it a Hoosier thing? I didn't know that.
Macaroni in the chili.
I didn't know that. My mom used to make it with long spaghetti.
Yes.
She used the Chili-O packets and long spaghetti.
My mom did. This was her thing.
I guess.
Where,
I know. Steak and Shake.
have a go on.
You too.
See you later.
So is that a Hoosier thing? Is that an Indiana thing? I don't feel like it's an Indiana thing. If you like put like macaroni in your chili, or so when I was growing up as a kid, my mom made chili at least like once a week, like from October 1st, probably from September 1st, although because it was easy, and then she would store it. She loved chili. I grew up loving chili. My mom's chili was like the best chili in the entire world. And I'll never forget, like years later, I said something to my mom about chili, and she's like, it's literally the recipe off the back of a Chili-O pack. And I was like, what? She's like, a Chili-O pack, it's like the spices that you put in, like the sauce, like it's literally, it's all you do is just follow the recipe on the back of a Chili-O pack. And so she would do that, but she would add to her chili, she would add like spaghetti, like long spaghetti, you know what I'm talking about? But then as, like I would go over to people's houses, and they would have like elbow macaroni. Like Melissa always has elbow macaroni. Caroline always has elbow macaroni. My Aunt Kathy always made elbow macaroni. And I can remember at first I thought it was kind of weird with elbow macaroni. When I would go over to people's houses, I think when I was growing up, my aunt always did elbow macaroni. My mom did long spaghetti. My grandma probably did spaghetti. Like, that's probably why my mom did it. But anyway, today I prefer elbow macaroni. Like, I don't make spaghetti for it. But people always say that like macaroni or pasta in your chili is like, so a Hoosier is somebody from Indiana. So that's what she was saying, that's like a Hoosier thing. It's an Indiana thing. Is that an Indiana thing? I didn't think it was. It's like people talk about like ketchup on your breakfast food is like a Midwest thing. Is that a Midwest thing? Like, we all do that. Like, if you get eggs, you put ketchup on your eggs. Is that gross to people? It probably is gross to people. Who's texting me? Oh, Nikki's asking more questions about these glasses. It probably is gross to some people, but hold on a second. She keeps on sending me these pictures of these glasses. Alex's mom, okay, I have to tell you, like, so when I try something new at first, I'm kind of like, I kind of am like kind of unsure of it. And Alex's mom, oh my God, his mom's chili, and she always makes me, she is so sweet. She and Melissa are two people that always do this for me. They always make vegetarian chili. Like, they'll make regular chili. Like, Melissa makes like the regular chili. She makes, I think Mike makes me, when we go over, because we're going over to Caroline's for Halloween. So Mike usually makes a little small pot of vegetarian chili too for me, which is just basically like beans and sauce. But Alex's mom always makes me vegetarian chili, and then Melissa, she makes a big thing of like ground beef. Alex loves ground beef in his chili. And then she makes a small little crock pot. They're so cute for me, vegetarian chili, and then a small little crock pot for her friend Erin, because it has no beans in it, because she doesn't like beans in her chili. But anyway, but Alex's mom, the first time that we had chili, because Alex was like, oh my God, my mom's chili is the best, and I was so excited about it, and we go over there, and I'm like looking around like, where's the macaroni? Like, I cannot eat chili without macaroni, okay? And she had like white rice next to it, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? And Alex is like, she makes chili over rice. I'd never heard of this before. I'd never had it before, and I was like kind of skeptical about it. I was like, okay, chili on rice? Like, this seems kind of bizarre to me. It was so good, you guys. Oh my God, like now, I'm like obsessed, and she knows it, and she gets such a kick out of it. Like, when we go over her house for chili, she's like, I got made extra rice for you. I like love it. I love like the rice. Sometimes like when we go over there, like I think we went over there one time, and she was like, she like called ahead of time, and she was like, how hungry are you? And I was like, I'm not really that hungry. You don't have to make the vegetarian chili for me. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And so I went over there, and it's somehow she makes her rice. She makes it in like this rice cooker and stuff like that. And her white rice is so good. But I just sat there and I ate it, and I put like the cheese sprinkles on there and like salt, and just, oh my God, it was so good. And I ate it with like saltine crackers. But anyway, if you've never had chili with white rice, you got to try it. It is so good. It is so good. So Alex's mom got me hooked on that. And I have to say, Melissa and Caroline, well, it's Mike's chili. Melissa and Mike's chili are both really, really good. But I think next to my mom's chili was so good. And it was so funny, because she'd be like, it's just from the Chili-O pack and recipe. I think Alex's mom, there's something like real, like there's something spicy but not too spicy about her. Hers is, I think, probably, well, my mom doesn't make the chili anymore, so I would say Alex's mom's chili is my favorite chili. And she knows that too. She makes it quite a bit when we go over there and stuff. Oh, look at her dog. Her dog is so cute. So last night I watched the first Saw movie. I'm going to do a reaction to like the first 2 or 3 when I get them under my belt and watched them. It was different than I remembered. I remembered Shawnee Smith. So I love Shawnee Smith. This is what I was saying. I'm remembering like everything that I like kind of lose track of. So Shawnee Smith was in that movie. I've actually talked about this movie on here before. And it was called like, We Saw What You Did, or I was looking up her movies last night. She's been in almost like all of the Saw movies. Shawnee Smith movies. But when I was in high school, or after that, my friends and I were all obsessed with this made-for-TV movie. I didn't realize she was older than me, first of all. The movie is called I Saw What You Did and I Know Who You Are, or something like that. I didn't know she was in Leaving Las Vegas, either. Why is it not pulling this movie up when I just saw it on here last night? I saw... Do you know what's so weird about that? Is if that movie is called I Saw What You Did, and then she was in the Saw movie. Here it is. 1988. Yeah, we did watch it in high school. Do you guys remember me talking about this? Because for years I couldn't figure out what this movie was. And then I watched it last year. I think I put it in the movie club. For years I thought it was this movie that was with Cheryl Ladd, and it was called Lisa. But this is the movie called I Saw What You Did. And it's about, so Shawnee Smith plays this like kind of unpopular girl that moves into town, and they live on like this farm. And then, what's the other girl's name? I can't think of her name. Tammy Lauren. Tammy Lauren plays this popular girl that just comes to her house to like hang out. Like, Shawnee Smith thinks they're hanging out to be friends, but she's just hanging out there so her boyfriend can come pick her up and she can give an excuse to her mom. And then Shawnee Smith's sister is like younger. I think it's actually played by that, who's that ultra conservative religious girl from Hallmark? Is it Candace Cameron Bure? Was she in that movie? I feel like she was cast. I think she played the sister. Oh my god, it was. Candace Cameron Bure was in it. She played the sister. So anyway, she's got this game. They're like doing these games, and she's like, I've got this game, and it's like a prank call, and the other friends, the popular friends, like, this is cheesy, let's not do it. And it's like, she calls up people on the phone, like she just picks a random number out of the phone, or phone book. Do you remember phone books? And she picks out a random number, she's like, I saw what you did, and I know who you are. My friends and I were obsessed with this movie. But anyway, I've loved Shawnee Smith ever since then. I thought Shawnee Smith was more in the original Saw movie than she is. She's not that much in it. And I remember, like, because people were like, when I was talking about it, they were like, oh my god, like, James Wan is such a fantastic, like, he did the Conjuring series, he did the Insidious series. Like, I know him as, like, in the horror movie franchise, who, like, directed and created the movie with the other guy that's, like, he plays Adam in the, or whatever the guy's name is, Adam or Patrick in the movie. But anyway, I forgot Danny Glover was in the movie. I forgot how much of it was just them in this room. Like, I thought they got out of the room and went somewhere else. So I must have seen, like, the first 2 or 3 of them. I don't know. But it was really, really good. I texted Nikki last night when I was watching it, because she said her and her son that's a senior in high school, they're going to watch all of them this year. And I said, where was it? Oh, she's telling me about this Love After Lockup group, and then I joined it. I said, girl, I forgot how intense this movie is. And she said, which one? The first one? And I said, yeah. It's really intense towards the end. They're really gory, but the parts that are the goriest, they don't show. Like, maybe it was edited for Tubi, but I don't think so. Like, the parts that I thought were going to be the goriest, they didn't show. But it's a really intense movie. I mean, it still holds the test of time, Saw 1. So I watched that last night, and then when I got done with that, so Mel had texted me about the Ed Gein show, Monsters, that Ryan Murphy put out. Mel is really, really interested in the Ed Gein, like, case. I think he ended up going to a psychiatric hospital and dying there, didn't he? Or did he get released? I feel like Ed Gein was eventually released from the psychiatric hospital. I think they deemed him, like, sane or something, didn't they? And then he ended up dying living at his sister's house or something. Is that what happened? where did Ed Gein die? I feel like he died, he was living with his sister. Why do I remember it that way? No, he died at a mental institution. Why do I feel like his sister was over his care or something at some point? I will say this, the guy that plays him, that Charlie Hunnam, I don't know him very well because I don't watch his shows that he's in. He looks a lot like him, he really does. Oh. Yeah, he was found unfit to stand trial and confined to a mental health institution. By 1968, he was judged competent to stand trial. He was found guilty of the murder of Warden, but was found legally insane and thus was remanded to a psychiatric institution. Why do I feel like he went to go live with his sister at one point? Am I wrong about that? In 1968, doctors determined Gein was mentally able to confer with counsel. The trial began on November 7th. At the request of the defense, Gein's trial was held without a jury. Found guilty by, a second trial dealt with Gein's sanity. After testimony, doctors for the prosecution and defense ruled that he was not guilty by reason of insanity and ordered Gein was tried for only one murder, that of Mrs. Warden. He was also admitted to killing Mary Hogan. Fate of Gein's property. Who am I thinking of then that ended up, that it was very similar to that? Does anybody know who I'm talking about? I need to text Mel. It was recovered in June 2000, wait. Oh, people are talking about souvenir seekers. Well, somebody that we read about, I guess it wasn't him, but I knew that he didn't go to prison. I knew that he went to a mental institution. So anyway, Mel was kind of like unsure about what she thought about it. I don't even know. I'm going to actually text her right now and see how far she made it. See what she thinks of it. Let's text her how far. Oh, she texted me right back. I was like, how far did you make it in the show? She finished it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Did you like it? I've heard a lot of people say that like the first episode was like hypersexualized and stuff like that. I mean, Ed Gein was a sadist, first of all, and they're talking about like, I saw people online being like, here Ryan Murphy did it again, sexualized the storyline. Ed Gein was a sadist. I mean, like, if you read in the information about, a lot of it is not factually correct on the show, but I thought the way that they filmed it, it was almost kind of filmed in Sepia Town a little bit. I mean, they got the farm and Ed Gein, he sounds different, and like, if you've seen like clips of him and stuff, like he sounds different than, I don't know why they did this like Mickey Mouse kind of voice on. I mean, he was very like quiet and stuff like that, but she said entertainment value was A++, historical accuracy was questionable. What about you? Did you finish it? Do you remember what serial killer went to an insane institution? I was gonna do asylum. Okay, asylum. And got out to live with his sister before. I'm probably thinking of some fictional book. Is probably what I'm thinking of. Mel like remembers like the details of all this stuff, so she'll remember it. But anyway, so I watched the first episode of that. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was very slow, but I thought the slowness of it, I mean, you have to think about the timing. Like, the timing of when this took place, and it was a small town, they lived on a farm, it's winter. I think that like, it was very accurately done. I didn't think it was super scary. I think at some point it shifts and it starts talking about like Hitchcock getting the idea for Psycho from it or something. I've seen people talk about that online. I didn't think the first episode, like people were going crazy about the first episode being like super sexual because they show like Ed Gein, like Otto, you know what, and they like, I can't say it on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about, with like a belt and like had women's clothing on and stuff like that. Like, that I think is supposedly kind of like factually correct about him or whatever. I don't know, but like there's a lot of speculation over Ed Gein. And I'll be honest with you, like one of the reasons why I was kind of hesitant to watch the show is Ed Gein is like I can remember when we first started the True Crime Book Club, and Mel would be like, let's read an Ed Gein book, let's read an Ed Gein book. And there, she said, wasn't it Ed Kemper? Maybe I'm thinking of Mindhunter. Do you hear that they're saying that they're going to make an Mindhunter? They're going to come out with the next series, or they're going to make a movie. The camera stopped while I was texting Mel that he's still alive. I have to go back through my books and look and see. Am I at an hour of vlogging already? The battery hasn't even gone to the halfway mark yet. I have to go back through my books and look and see, like what we read and stuff like that. She's like, Ed Kemper is? I'm like, she is like, Mel knows everything about these people. I'm like, how do you not know that he's still, she's like, I'm Googling it right, I'm double checking Google right now. I'm gonna look it up. What serial killer, what, I feel like there was like a movie that I ended up watching about it. What serial killer died living, was it maybe just a horror movie that I watched? Died living with his sister. It pulled up Ed Kemper. Richard Speck. It wasn't Richard Speck. No, it says he lived with his mom and sisters. I don't know who this was. I can't remember. You know what? I'm starting to think maybe it was a fictional. Was it a Frida McFadden? Was it a Frida McFadden book? I'm going to text Mel, because if I say to her, does it even sound familiar? Does it even sound familiar? Because if she says no, then that means it was a fictional book that I read. It could have even been a show that maybe it was a true crime documentary that does anybody know what I'm talking about? Maybe it's a true crime documentary that I watch. It was somebody that was found to be mentally insane, and then they were in this mental institution for years and years and years, and then the psychiatrist deemed them okay. I couldn't believe it. Like, I feel like it had to have been a real person, because they got released. Maybe they lived in an apartment, but they didn't live with their sister. I just remember we read something about a serial killer not being able to stand trial aside from Gein. Who was it? She said, yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If any of you guys know, let me know. So anyway, I watched the Saw movie last night, and then I watched the first episode of the Monsters Ed Gein show. I didn't think it was like that bad. I mean, okay, if you watch Monsters about the Menendez brothers, I thought that show was highly sexualized. When people were talking about it, I was like, there's no way you can watch that without, like, I mean, the battery just went to the halfway mark. It's a highly, highly sexualized show. But I didn't think the first episode of this was, I think in the context of the Ed Gein storyline, it makes sense. I'm not super interested in Ed Gein or that case. I'm not real super interested in old-timey cases like that. It's kind of like why I really struggled with the Truman Capote book. Why was that book called? That was like the very first, no, that was the second book that we read. We read The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule as the first book. I can never remember this Truman Capote book. In Cold Blood. Yeah, it just is very kind of in cold bloodish to me. I remember my mom thought that book was so scary. I remember reading it and thinking it's so boring is what it is. But anyway, and then after I watched that episode, so I'll probably watch an episode here, an episode there of it, maybe this weekend. It depends. If I go inside and Alex has watched like an episode and a half of it already, he's like in it to win it, I'll probably go inside and I'll be like, I thought you were going to go to sleep. He'd be like, no, I'm awake now. Let's watch these shows. He does that sometimes. Like, he'll say he's real tired, then I'll go inside, and then it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, you're still up? He's like, I'm so into this show. And I'll be like, I thought you were tired. He's like, I was. But I'm not anymore. So he was gonna start it, and I was like, do you even care about Ed Gein? He doesn't care. He cares that it's a Ryan Murphy show. We love all the Ryan Murphy shows. They are really well done, I think. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but I think that Ryan Murphy is very talented in what he does. So anyway, I'll probably watch an episode here or there. But what I did was I went back and I watched Shetland season 2, and I finished 2 episodes. Well, I finished the first episode, and then I finished episode 2 and 3. You guys, I'm so into that show. It is so good, you guys. Apparently, each of them is based on an Anne. I don't even know who this person is. Anne Cleves is the author. Anne Cleves. Let's look her up. Here she is. Anne Cleves. Oh no, Anne of Cleves. No, it's an author. Anne Cleves books. Yeah, they're based on these books. Oh, here, the first book is called Shetland. But and the second book, the second season is based on Raven Black, which is right here. It came out in 2006. The first book is not called Shetland, though. The first book is Red Bones was the first one. That's interesting that the first one's based on Red Bones that came out in 2009, and Raven Black is season 2 that came out in 2006. I don't care. I love this show. This show is so good, you guys. So if you're looking for good shows on BritBox, I was telling Tanya last night, I thought for sure Tanya would say, like, she's watched, there was a couple of you that recommended Shetland to me. Thank you so much. Recommend the next BritBox show to me. Put it in the comment section below, your favorite BritBox shows. I love them because, like, okay, so last night I was, like, halfway through. These dogs were, I think it was because I was like, got down kind of early last night, but they were like wild, crazy town for like a good 2 hours, just like tearing through the house. They were so cute. But then all of a sudden, Otis has been the one now this week coming up next to me. I was like almost done with Saul or like halfway through it. And Otis like came over, they come up to the side of the chair and they go like that and they like me to pick them up. And so I picked him up and he like went to sleep right away. And then Walter was like chewing on a toy. They got these new toys yesterday, and they love these new toys that I got them. Got them off the Amazon or something. So Walter was chewing on the toy. And then finally, about a half an hour later, he came over, and so he likes me to hold him like a baby and stuff like that. So I hold him like a baby, and then he was like falling asleep. His eyes were closing. So I put him on the chair. I also watched half of Love After Lockup yesterday. I didn't finish the whole episode. Because I was like wanting to watch. That's what I watched after Saw before the Ed Gein show. I watched half of Life After Lockup. But I'm kind of like over some of the couples, so I'm really struggling with it. So then Walter came up, and then they fell asleep, and it's so cozy. I have like a candle lit in the kitchen, and it's like real low lit, and then like I have like the window cracked open last night, and it was so nice. It's so cute. Like the window back there, when she came to like take measurements and stuff, she fixed it so we can slide it open just a little bit. And so when I have it open at night, like they go over there and they go, it's real cute. It reminds me of Boo Radley so much. And so, but they're just little sweet baby darlings. But anyway, little baby darlings. They're sweet little baby darlings. So anyway, they were sleeping right next to me, and they're so cozy right next to me. They push real in next to me. And then Otis will go over to the ottoman, and then he comes back over, and then he lays on Walter, who's laying on me. They're just so sweet. And I had like a cup of coffee, and then I had like some water because I was like, I didn't want to, like have too much coffee late last night. But I was so cozy watching the show. It was so much fun. I love that Shetland show. It is so good. So, yeah. And then today, we are going to, well, if I go inside and he's watching the show, then I've done really, really good on my walking this week. So I may, depending on what our show walk, if he goes to bed early, then I'll take a walk. If, like, he's up and wants to watch shows, then I'll probably skip my walk tonight. I might order something bad. It's the weekend. I mean, like, when I go to Patachou for brunch, I don't really cheat. I mean, like, I get a grilled cheese with tomato soup, and I don't even really finish my grilled cheese. And I always eat something later here, like leftovers or whatever, or something that I have at the house. Oh my God, I'll tell you what I was eating last night that were so good. Were those little pretzels from Trader Joe's that are pumpkin spice. Oh my God, they are so delicious. So I was having those last night. They were so good. And I got these Ghirardelli chocolates that I reviewed from my review channel. Okay, they're caramel, milk chocolate. There's 3 different kinds. Just regular plain milk chocolate, caramel, and this is so bad, you guys. And caramel apple. The caramel apple are like so good. The caramel are really good too. The milk chocolate are just, they're okay. But anyway, the bag is, I said I was going to get rid of them, and I didn't, because I was like, you deserve to have one treat around the house. Like, you've done really, really well, and like the walking and the eating healthy and stuff. Like, you deserve to have one treat around your house. So the bag, I got it at Costco. It's in the closet. So like late at night when I'm like kind of hungry, this is why I cannot have stuff in the house. I'll go in there and I literally like go like, I like in my head go trick or treat. And I'm like, and I go into the bag and I'm like reach it and I'm like surprised by what I get. And I always hope I don't get blue because blue is milk chocolate. And last night I pulled it like 3 times. I kept on going by. And I got a caramel, and then I got 2 caramel apples, and I was so happy I didn't get the milk, the dud, the milk dud. I do like milk duds, kind of. I haven't had milk duds in years and years, but I did kind of like them back in the day. Almond Joys, I hated. But anyway, so I don't know, but we're going to watch. If I go inside and he's asleep, then we'll wait, but I don't think he is. He's probably watching the Ed Gein show or TikToks. So we'll watch The Housewives, and then when we get out called the Housewives, we'll probably watch The Strangers Chapter 1 so we can go see it tomorrow, depending on how we feel tomorrow. Or we'll watch something else. If he doesn't go to sleep and I might go inside and he might be like, oh, I'm awake and I feel better, let's watch shows and whatever. He might binge watch that Ed Gein show tonight. Like, I can't do that. Like, he can literally sit in one spot and like binge watch a show. I am kind of jealous of that. Like Mel saying that she watched the whole thing. Yeah, she literally texted me. What time did she text me yesterday? She finished the whole damn show. She said, I'm sure it'll come up somewhere at some point again. Haha. Okay, what time is she? 3 o'clock yesterday. She was on episode 1. And she finished the whole thing. She is so like Alex. Like, I cannot do that. I cannot finish a show in like one day. I wish I could. I mean, oh, and there was like 3 new, oh my God, the BTK Killer's Daughters. I'm going to watch that documentary. I hope the documentary is better than the book. Because I do think her perspective is interesting. The book was just a mess for me. But there's a couple new documentaries that are coming out. Hold on a second. There's this gal, I think she's probably on TikTok, but I follow her on Instagram. And her name is The Documentary Girl. Here she is. So I put it up on my Peter Watches TV Instagram yesterday. She put out like the best new true crime documentaries that are coming out this month. The Psychic Swindle, Don't Date Brandon, Eileen, Queen of the Serial Killers is coming, a new Eileen Wuornos documentary. I'm so excited about that. True Haunting, October 7th. The Perfect Neighbor, October 17th. I'm really excited about that one on Netflix. The Alabama Solution, October 10th on HBO Max. And then I was watching Monster. So those are the new true crime documentaries that are coming out, and the BTK Killer one that are coming out this month. So there's a lot of good true crime coming out. Now, true crime I can watch in one setting. The one that's called Apartment 3G, The Girl in Apartment 3G, or whatever that everybody's been asking me to watch. It's 3 episodes. I might watch that tonight if Alex and I don't watch something together, unless I want to watch Shetland. I'm so into Shetland. It's such a cozy show to watch. And you know what's weird about it is, it's like a really kind of scary show, except that it feels very cozy when you're watching it inside your house. But like, I had the door open last night, and this like breeze came through, and I was like, Shetland, and I was like kind of scared because it takes place like, you know, in the hills and at night. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and of course I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Have a great weekend.